Carl Pei's company Nothing had a very quick launch event. Well, it's not really a launch event, more of an update event. So they shared a few important things with us, so let's go over it. Carl started by emphasizing that Nothing is not just an audio company. Even though their first product was the Ear One earphone, they don't want to be known as just an audio company who's making earphones. And he also mentioned how he wants to combat this lack of innovation because everyone is after making more profits. He even name dropped Apple, saying that even though they have a pretty elaborate ecosystem, they make it almost impossible for anyone to leave their ecosystem, meaning that there is no alternative if you don't like what Apple is doing. And that is my concern exactly. Many enthusiasts like myself, even though we can afford and we do kind of like Apple technologies, we don't want to be locked in that ecosystem forever, right? We don't want one company to play God with us. So that's why we don't lock into them. But he plans to make something different. Nothing plans to make an open ecosystem that will primarily consist of Nothing based products, but will be open for third-party stuff as well. Like if you want to use a Windows PC and an Android phone alongside a Nothing product, that product would work just as well as with that one as compared to a Nothing ecosystem product. And speaking of that, he said, surprise, surprise, we are making a phone. We all saw this coming, right? They acquired Andy Rubin's Essential smartphone company and yep, they're making a smartphone as well. It's called the Nothing Phone 1. We don't exactly know what it looks like, we just know the name and it has been confirmed that it's coming out later this year, probably by June 2022. And we know a few details like how the operating system and UI would look like. They said that the phone will have essentially a stock Android operating system but with a few Nothing elements on top. They're calling it the Nothing OS. They say that they're building some kind of a special RAM optimization method where only the essential applications will be kept in memory and the other resource demanding apps will be closed. I mean, that sounds a lot like what Oppo and Huawei have been doing. Like if you know anything about Oppo devices, you know that they pretty aggressively kill apps in the background to save battery and you end up missing a lot of notifications. I just hope Nothing isn't doing anything that aggressive. I mean, battery life is good, but ultimately your phone should be functional, right? If I'm not getting my email notifications, then what's the point of saving that 10% extra? But again, we may be jumping to conclusions here. We haven't even seen it, so let's see when we get there. They're promising that the UI will have fast and minimal animations and everything will seem cohesive. They say that they have their own kind of font, that dot matrix font that they have. And they even said that the launcher, the Nothing OS launcher, will be available for select Android devices to download from the Play Store on April. So if your device is in the list of compatible devices, which they will reveal soon, I guess. If I find that list, I'll leave it in the description. But by April, you should be able to download that as a normal app from the Play Store and try it out beforehand. I mean, from the brief presentation that they've given us of the UI, it kind of reminds me of the Artisan T2. Do you remember that phone? They also say that there's a huge emphasis on sound. Staying true to their brand, they say that they are inspired by Morse code and digital watches. When Nothing first gave the opportunity for people to pitch in, people to invest in the company, they apparently raised 1.5 million in like 54 seconds. That's pretty crazy. And now they're opening up to an even larger amount, so you can find out more details at nothing.tech. Link will be in the description. So if you want to be a part of this company, you can. But that's about it, really. That's about all we got to know from this pretty short event that they held. There were no product announcements, there wasn't anything to see per se. We just got a sneak peek of what the OS would look like, and we have got a confirmation that there will be a smartphone. We heard a rumor that there would be like 5 tech products from Nothing this year. Like I guess one of them is pretty much confirmed to be a phone. I wonder what the rest of them are. But I have to be honest, I did not see this ecosystem thing coming. Like I didn't think that Nothing would build such a big project. Anyways, those were all the major highlights from this Nothing event. Let me know what you think. What do you think the Nothing phone would look like? I mean, we know what the Essential phone looks like. I would be pretty happy if it looks like a modern version of Essential phone, maybe with a better notch and I don't know, surprise me, Carl. I mean, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the moves Carl has able to pull. Apparently it's a company of 300 people now, which is pretty surprising given the time frame that they came up in. So yeah, safe to say that I have pretty high hopes for Nothing products this year. Even though I may not end up buying one, it would be pretty cool to see them in the market. He himself said that they're not planning to disrupt the market or solve everyone's problems, but they are trying to give the market a wake-up call. Like that's what he said. We are giving a wake-up call. Well, let's see what the wake-up call ends up being in reality, but until then, you can stay tuned to their website. You can also stay tuned to our Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to talk more about it, you can do it there.